Well, good evening, everybody. Decided that I wanted to do some research streams for this particular um, ARG. I figured I'd do them intermittently. I'm probably not going to do very many because there's not a whole lot that I need to look at, but I figured it'd be fun to kind of do it this way. These streams are unfortunately going to be made members only afterwards, mostly because I don't expect them to be a huge hit, and I don't. Um, I think that you guys you'll see what I'm gonna go do once the project for this is done. Um, Basically, I'm doing a big, I guess, timeline and theory video on the Monument Mythos, and I ran to this particular one through Wendigoon originally, and he when he made one of these timeline videos slash theory videos, he didn't finish all of season two. He kind of started early because I think he was just really excited to talk about it, and I kind of waited until season two was done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through part of season one, I think. Depending upon how long we're running, I might cut it short and do another one. We'll just have to see what happens. But that's the what I'm going to do today is just react to the videos, put my notes down in an Excel spreadsheet that I've already got started, so that I could start putting all these dates and stuff together and figure out exactly how they go together once all of that is done. Hi, my flock. Welcome. Glad you could come by and say hello. Very much appreciate it. I'm going to be doing my normal streams, my episode 50 of Halls of Horror, on Sunday. But before that, I am doing a guest spot on my Flock's channel. Let me go and grab that. Grab his channel so that we can at least put it in here if anybody comes in. I don't think anybody will. This is probably going to be a very dead stream, but at least, give it a shot. I did see it pop up somewhere. Fuck. Let's go and grab the link for that. I could have swore I did see it pop up somewhere. I guess not. But I'll at least throw the channel in here for you guys if you want to go check out my Flock's content. But like I was saying, I'm mostly just gonna be doing this for the moment, and then is YouTube losing its mind? Hey, what's up, Cherry? Yeah, I'm just gonna do a little bit of a research stream, kind of react to it with my little brewski, and put some stuff together. I think it'd be more fun to react to it on stream than my own. If you did notice, I removed the Void movie review, and that's because it got a lot of copyright claims on it. Even though I did edit the video clips that I used in there, I got copyright clipped so much. It was ridiculous. There was no point in leaving it up. And I'm not about to go recreate it. So that's gone, unfortunately. I did make the attempt on that video, but or that movie, but the owners of that movie apparently are very anal retentive. So unfortunately, it's gone. It is lost of time, and we're just gonna have to leave it at that. In the future, I'm going to be trying to edit these movie reviews a little bit more. I am not going to be using full clips. They're going to be chopped up a lot more, and they're going to have more of a filter over them. So hopefully that'll avoid the problem in the future, but unfortunately at the moment, that's where we're at. I do have some big projects in the pipeline, though, this being one of them. So, without further ado, why don't we go ahead and watch the first video, Liberty Lurker. The Monument Mythos is basically an alternate timeline for the world, specifically, I think, the US. And it's just really interesting how it is run, and I really want to cover it. So, the very first video is Liberty Lurker. In the description, it says, Archivist's note, it is believed that all surviving audio recordings of the infamous 1889 Liberty Lurker interview with Frederick Auguste Bartholdi are fakes produced by American publicists. At the turn of the 20th century. Archaic spells and other minor deviations in the French transcription can be attributed to these publicists. The deviations have been preserved to maintain the transcription's historical integrity, while American publicists correctly capitalize Etat Unis, United States, in their transcriptions of the Liberty Lurker interviews. French writers often left the country in lowercase to subtly hint at their own anti-American sentiments. Includes a newly restored clip from STLI 1.8084. Film damage is no longer visible. So, first video. Liberty Lurker.
L'aspect le plus difficile de la construction était le piédestal. Bien que le statut soit destiné à être un cadeau, l'ambassadeur des États-Unis nous a exhortés à suivre les démons du président Karl. Nous avons accepté l'échappement. Nous avons reçu des exigences.
So it's basically talking about making the Statue of Liberty. That's what this particular, I guess, video is about. It's about an event that has to do with the Statue of Liberty. And, oh boy, it's a very, very, very interesting video clip indeed. Frederick Auguste That's the Americans. Ooh. Okay, so this is basically an interview with Frederick talking about making this particular, I guess, statue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reread what is said in here and type it out for myself. So that I can keep an eye on it, I guess. Interview. The most difficult aspect of the construction was the pedestal. Is that the next one, or is there something else? Just want to make sure. Nope, that's it. Although the pedestal... Yes, I am going to type out all of that. Although the statue was intended to be a gift, the U.S. ambassador urged us to follow President Grant's requests. We agreed, and each month we received varying size requirements for the pedestal. So they're basically messing around with them is what it seems like. They keep giving them different sizes and whatnot. You'll find out why. After 4 years, requests to change the size of the pedestal ceased. So, let's do a little bit of research here. When was the Statue of Liberty built? (1886). Metal framework was dedicated on the 28th. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go and poke around in some things and find an idea of what the timeline is in both our world, this version of our world, and the alternate reality that has to deal with some of the stuff that we'll see that happens later on in this particular ARG. Welcome, Rita Paula. It's nice to see you. And what's up, Musky Mike? It was great. I actually had some shawarma, and I've got myself a beer, a Japanese imported beer. So I'm having a good night. But what Mike's referring to is that I was gonna do this at 6, and I ended up pushing it back a little bit, so I'm not doing the real streamer thing and and eating on stream. That's just weird for me. I don't feel the need to do any ASMR stuff. So there's that. Anyway, so what it looks like, obviously, was the French that started this up.
I'm going to give the people what they want. Sensation, horror, shock.
Thank you for
Send them out in the streets to tell their friends how wonderful it is to be scared to death.
Okay, at least that's working. It wasn't working last stream for some reason. There was some issue with the Streamlabs, but I guess I fixed it. Thank you very much for the sub. I very much appreciate it. But it looks like in our reality around this time, so this interview was in 1889. Okay, so from what I can tell, the Statue of Liberty was awarded or started 4 years before this, I'm guessing. So 1884 is when that started. Okay, 1884. Alright, no, I don't want this bolded. No, I don't want it bold. 84. Statue of Liberty commissioned by... Okay. So after 4 years, I'm guessing 88 is when that stuff stopped and the statue was completed. I'm assuming. Okay, so after 4 years, changed the size of the pedestal ceased. People wonder why. People wonder why the pedestal is so much taller than the lady. All I tell them is... Oops, excuse me. I got the burps. I apologize, guys. Try not to burp into the microphone. Ask the Americans. Is there anything else in this one? American. Okay, that's the interview. And I guess we're gonna find out exactly why. Let's Do this in my little thing. Insert. I don't need this to be that big. I don't need this one to be that big. I don't need this one to be that big. I don't think. The description's the one that really needs to be bigger. Oop. Universe. Real. I'm gonna put it in different. I guess I'm gonna have to. You're not gonna see what I'm. This one is Monument. All right. This is gonna be interesting. All right. So let's do this. Our next event is 1949. STLI 1.8084 was classified for 36 years. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do that. Alright, so statue goes under extensive renovations. With blueprint STL LI 1.8084. Boom, boom, boom. And then 36 years later, this was unclassified, I'm assuming. Monument. So that's 1949 plus 36. 1958. 85. Sorry, 85. I can't read. I'm dyslexic. Blueprint. STLI 1.8084. Unclassified. Okay, so there's some stuff already set up. Let's see what happens here with this particular video. Bring back the live stream up. All right, let's go. See what happens. Provide entrance for sustenance. Install engine to assist with eventual departure. Probably should put that in there. Provide. That's a very weird thing to call it. Entrance for sustenance. Install engine to assist with eventual departure. And I need to make sure all this just gets wrapped. All right. Wrap text. There we go. Yay, playing around in Excel is fun, guys. Not really. I play in Excel all day. It sucks. All right. And this is apparently the that's the engine. This is the blueprints they're talking about. STLI 1.8084. Shit's about to get real, y'all. About to get really real. Really, really, really real. Axle. Wheels. Why are there wheels there? And there's some stairs. This is a really weird. Why is there this much stuff in there? And for what? 4K. We have storage. It's almost as if something's gonna be living in there, guys. I wonder what. Summer of 1954. No, I don't want to delete that. Nope. Insert. 1954. Immigrants. Let's put summer in that. Summer just to be more specific. Describe foul odor while passing Ellis Island. That's not good. I wonder why that could be. Okay, let's pop this interview in here. Interview. When was this interview? Did it say when this interview was done? Probably not. Probably not. But interview with Ella. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna break that up. It makes it easier if I break it up. Insert that. Eleonora Bramante interview. Ellis Island was awful. The whole place reeked of flesh. Not good. Like a slaughterhouse. Sounds like some, how do I want to put this? Some, Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes right there.
L'intero posto puzzava di carne, come un mattatoio. C'erano anche uccelli morti.
There were also dead birds everywhere. That's also not a good sign if you watch horror movies. There are also dead birds everywhere. My sister even found one in the toilet. That's nasty. I used to work retail and I found some really gnarly things in bathrooms where I worked. But that's the gnarliest thing I've ever heard. If this is how the coast... oh, I need to put parentheses. Not parentheses. Quotations. This is how the coast is, my father said. Imagine how bad the cities smell. And they probably didn't smell very good at that point, to be honest. I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, most places don't smell really good anyways anymore. I remember hearing other families, excuse me, half jokingly, I'm sorry, I can't read. Jokingly say that they wanted to return to Milan because of the smell. That's a very damning statement. Those are some damning jokes. That must have smelled really bad. My family had sprayed perfume and burned candles to keep the stench away, but it would only work for an hour or so until the air became unbearable again. That must be a lot of bodies if it's stinking like that.
Ma funzionava solo per un'ora o giù di lì, finché l'aria diventava di nuovo insopportabile. Le serate...
The evenings... Oh, it's even hot, so that doesn't make it any better. Evenings were so hot. I stayed mostly awake, even though the rest of my family slept soundly. That's pretty gross.
Rimasi per lo più sveglia, anche se il resto della mia famiglia dormiva profondamente. Ricordo che...
Remember looking out the window each night and seeing lines of people being led to the Liberty statue by officials. Ah, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Ogni notte e vedevo
This
figli di
reminds me
persone che
of
venivano
Must
condotte allo
Watch
stato della
trailer.
libertà dai
Nice.
funzionari. Se solo fossero saliti.
After they would go into the pedestal, the officials would leave, and nothing else would happen. So there's government interference here, which is not surprising. You're gonna see that a lot
I funzionari se ne
in
sarebbero
these
andati e non sarebbe
videos.
successo
A lot of
nient'altro.
government interference, a lot of collusion, and there's just a lot wrong. The following morning would smell so much worse, though, like a slaughterhouse, because it is one. See, I'm already aware of a lot of the stuff that's going on in the background of this, so I'll make comments here and there, but if you haven't seen any of this stuff, holy shit, it gets bad.
Seguente però ci sarebbe
There's some
stato una
very,
vera
very disgusting things that happen. And that's it. August 1985. First sighting of the Liberty Lurker. Now we're going to see what exactly they're being talked about. But I want to go back just a hair. Ellis Island immigration closed the following November. So, there's another thing to pop in there. Insert. Liberty Lurker Monument. November 1955. I think. Ellis Island Immigration Station closes. And then we get to see the fun part. First sighting Liberty Lurker. Gotta fix something very quickly. I don't want that text. November 1955. Before that, I'm thinking that's what the case is, but I could be misinterpreting that. But just before that, August 19. Oh, that's after. My bad. That's way after that. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. Sorry. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. Liberty Lurker. 1985. Make that all format cells. That all text. Yay. August 1985. First sighting of the Liberty Lurker. And then we'll be done with this particular video. We'll go to the next one. But here's the Liberty Lurker. I'm going to slow this down so y'all can see what's going on here. Just a touch. Because this is creepy. This is creepy. That's why they had... Oh, that's what they came out of it. Oh, that's what they came out of it. Ah! So that's what they were feeding. That's what they were feeding. Let's go back and see that again. Let's slow that down just a little bit more so y'all can see. Rolls, and then this comes out of it. Yeah. What is that? What is that? What is that? What are those? What are those? Liberty Lurker. I'm gonna throw another line in here. Of Statue of Liberty takes place. Mass grave found in waste storage compartment. And we know that's towards the bottom. That's just so gross. If you have family members who were last seen at Ellis Island in between the years 1949 and 1954. Okay, so this is 1954 is when that's... Okay, so at least I have that. Insert. Let's put another line in here. 249. Pop that in there. Ellis Island Immigration Station is opened. Start of immigrant disappearances. Shit about to get really real, y'all. Oh, it's already been real. Really real. It's really, really real. It's gonna get worse. Liberty Lurker, a film by Alex Kansas, who now goes by Mr. Manticore, because he does a different project now, which I might go over once that's all done, because I just love what this guy does. It's so freaking cool. Alright, the end. Alright, next. Next. Alright, this is Rushmore Revenge. This gets very... All of this gets really freaking creepy, I'm not gonna lie. But I very, very much enjoy how creepy this is. I even showed some of this to my husband and was like, dude, look at this. This is really freaking cool. I want to talk about it. So I'm going to. August... And thank you. Give me some specific dates. Thank you. August 7... 2003. National Park Service fines. And notice there's a lot of writing on there. They'll go over it. National Park Service finds the Mount Rushmore National Memorial vandalized. Message 1. And you'll absolutely see some stuff that ties in already. There's definitely stuff that ties in. Right here. Here's the first one. The U.S. government can fund mass murder if it's labeled a national monument. There was mass murder over at the Statue of Liberty, wasn't there, guys? Indeed, indeed there was. I'm going to say it, but the French know what would happen if they made it out of copper, probably. Nails. I love that emoji, the nails. So freaking funny. Funniest thing ever. Alright, what's the next thing that's going to be said? And try to keep some of these in mind if you come to their streams for this, because they all have something to do with things that are brought up later in the series. Everyday executions occur in 2,600 American landmarks. Yikes. Message 3. Oh, there's more. There's definitely more. The blood of liberty will be avenged. Statue of Liberty. The blood of liberty will be avenged. Message 4. Sorry, I like to talk when I type, so you'll hear me doing that a lot. And I type very loudly, unfortunately. Ooh! Tuck this one away. The souls of Lincoln will be freed. Tuck that one away for later. We'll get to that at some point. Message 5. Is there another one? I'm pretty sure there are. Maybe. Nope, that was it. That was the last one. Yikes. 14th. Ooh, more messages. So let's put that one in here. This was 7 days after that. 7 days after the initial messages are put up. There's another message. More messages found on Mount Rushmore. What's the messages? Yeah, what's the messages, y'all? What we got? Message 1. Zoom, enhance, zoom, enhance, zoom, enhance. I will introduce infection next week, Monday through Sunday, 10:12 through 10:13 p.m. Watch the symptoms. So I'll remove the cause, but not the symptom. Bing! Yes, I made a temporary reference. Sue me. I think that's the only message. It is, okay. It's another one. I love how this is gonna get put together pretty easily, and I'll show you what I've got after everything is, you know, put together, maybe. Or maybe not. I might not want you guys seeing my screen for that. I don't think I will. I think I'll keep that to myself. You don't need to see my notes. You don't need to see my notes. Due to security concerns, the National Park Service assigns patrols for the next 7 nights. The patrols are told to videotape all anomalies from 10:12 to 10:13 p.m., which is the time period in that last message that we looked at. So things have gotten really, really real again. Monday. More anomalies. So I'm alright, okay, let's do some backtracking, yeah? Do some backtracking. 2003. August. So I have this right when I do my little thing. That was the 18th. So the next week. So on the 25th. August 25th is when the next little entry would be. Alright, so what's it gonna say? What you gonna show us? Oh. What are we gonna see, y'all? What is up there? I didn't really see anything, did y'all? Did y'all see anything in that? I didn't. First video of possible anomaly. I can't see anything in that, so I can't tell. Tuesday. Ooh. Flashing light. Ooh. There's a light over on Mount Rushmore. Another Tim Curry reference. Haha. Second video of light flashing above Mount Rushmore. That's definitely some flashing lights. I can see that. Weird. I couldn't tell what was in the first one. What about the thing that flew overhead on Monday? I didn't see it. Should I go back? I didn't see anything flying over. Barely see anything. It's so dark. Oh, you're right. You're right, Brandon D'Angelo. I completely missed that. Video of something flying over Mount Rushmore. Good catch. See, this is why I like doing these. That's Tuesday, I think. Wednesday. 27th. What do they see this time? I know it gets really real. I keep saying that. I keep saying it gets really real, but that's the only way I can explain it. Third video. Weird noises coming from Mount Rushmore. Thursday. What's next? Something up there. Fourth video. Video of more weird noises and something poking out from above Mount Rushmore. Friday. Is it 29th? I'm gonna assume that's the 29th. Gotta make sure my dates are correct. Fifth video of... Oh, I put faux instead of. I'm weird. There's something moving out there. That's so blurry though. Focus. Ooh. Of something still poking out from above. Above Mount Rushmore. So we got two more of these little clips. And it's gonna get worse. I'll tell you that right now. It's never gonna get better. Saturday. Sixth video of... Oh, remove lens cap. Stupid. Weird noises. No images. No video recorded due to lens cap not being removed. Hey, you can hear how loud I type. Such a loud typer. Sorry, that's annoying. Last video of... Yikes. That's... You see that? Look at that. Of trees? Question mark sprouting from behind, from top of Mount Rushmore with louder weird noises. Jeebus, that's That's crappy. That's crappy. My opinion. That's super creepy. Ew. Here's some more testimony. I'm gonna say this is after the fact, but monument. I'll put this right here. Follow. I'm gonna assume this is in September. This follow-up is. Does it say anything in the description? No. Just as archivists know, perpetrators of the Rushmore Revenge incident remain at large. Okay. Nobody's been caught for this then. Monument. I'm gonna assume this is September. September 2003. Mount Rushmore smells just like baby powder nowadays. I think it comes from the stuff that the workers put on the heads. Yeah, I see them do it all the time. They go from Washington to Lincoln every night, powdering it like a baby. That's very odd. It's very, very odd. I wonder what they're putting on it. Maybe trying to kill whatever the hell's Hannah Overway. Put that in there. Interview from Hannah. Interview of, I'll say of, Hannah McElroy. Local photographer. This stuff all is important. All of it is. I think that's that's it for the Mount Rushmore incident, I believe. Alex, Kansas. Yep, that's it. Alcatraz attack. I'll probably do a couple more of these and then call it. Because we're already about part of the way through. This is gonna be... This one I definitely thought was super, super creepy if it ever happened. Because we know what Alcatraz is, right? It's probably one of the most infamous islands in all of... Excuse me. Yeah, they're just no faces by Sunday. Everything is all jacked up. I'll have to go look back at it again later, but everything is just so weird. Absolutely weird. Just in general, it's it's odd, everything that's going on. But Alcatraz, like I was saying, is one of the most infamous islands that were utilized as a location for what is also known as one of the most infamous prisons ever. It's now closed down and very much haunted, in my opinion. I've never been there, but I would like to go at some point. But yeah, this is gonna get fun. This is apparently video of Alcatraz 2 days before therapy. Not sure what that means. I guess we'll find out. Is it sick? Is the island sick? It's talking as if the island is a living, breathing organism. Let's pause this. 2003 Alcatraz attack continues to baffle the scientific community. I need to grab this, by the way. Grab that name. Put that in there. Doesn't say when so cool. Ruins? Question mark? Ruins? Question mark? Whatever that means. More ruins? Question mark? More ruins? Question mark? More ruins? Question mark? Tennis courts? I guess it's for recreation. That looks odd. Island again. Is it moving? One day before therapy. Doesn't say necessarily when this is occurring. I wonder if it'll show us a pan out of Alcatraz. What does that look like to you guys? Doesn't it kind of look like one of these? Doesn't it kind of look like one of these? Doesn't it kind of look like that? Kind of looks like a cell, don't it? What do we usually see that stuff for? That looks like a nucleus. That looks like some stuff moving around. That shouldn't be moving around like that. Yeah, I think so. It looks like a. Let's pull that out. I'm pretty sure that's what it was called, but I'm not a biologist. Paramecia. Doesn't it look like that? Doesn't it kind of look like that? I think it does. Let's go back. Let's do a 1-for-1 comparison. And that. Looks exactly the same to me. Green Bugman, I don't see it. Wall. Funny, Mike. I know you're talking about me watching my Dragon Ball Z, my weeb shit. Radiation therapy number 1. Yikes. Projected movement. 1950. So I'm assuming this is from 1950. And it's moving towards 2005, and then it just starts getting bigger. It just grows and grows and grows and takes over everything. As of 2020, the Alcatraz zone extends to West Texas. Woof. It basically spread from California to Texas. Yikes. Let's confirm that so that I have my notes correct. Alcatraz. Yep, it's off the coast of, looks like California. Yup. Alcatraz Island. The coast of San Francisco. Caribe. So, I'm gonna say this started in 1950. I'm guessing. So let's put that there in the right spot. Let's put 1950. Radiation treatment takes place on takes place in Alcatraz zone. Place on Alcatraz Island. And then we'll so I'll put something in beginning of 2003 because it doesn't say when in 2003 this happened. It just says that the 2003 Alcatraz attack. Insert. Copy that. Let's put it in 2003. 2003. Alcatraz Island multiplies and takes over and attacks mainland USA. And then by 2020, Alcatraz zone now extends to West Texas. Creepy. It's first Mr. Manticore video I watched, totally hooked after. I saw it from Liberty Lurker because I saw it through Wendigoon. So I saw it in order as Wendigoon talked about it. But yeah, I haven't watched all of them myself. I'm just aware of what happens because Wendigoon explained things that way. However, I want to do it in chronological order when I explain the timeline instead of how he did it with I mean Wendigoon. Where he basically went through video by video in order. I'm going to go over in order of chronological events instead, which I think is probably more digestible, and I'm not jumping around nearly as much trying to fill in things. All right, so Dean Democracy is the next one. This one is very different than what we have. Very, very different. Do it this way. All right, Dean Democracy. This says this is from 2002. It's a documentary called Dean Democracy, a look back at America's 37th president. So, I'm going to do is pop that in just above the first Alcatraz thing in here. Monument. Don't be weird. 2002 documentary. Dean Democracy. A look back at America's 37th president. Is released. Alright, that's what we're gonna start on that. Gotta go because I have a long day tomorrow, but I'll try to rewatch. I'm unfortunately going to be making this unlisted and for channel members only, Cherry, so unfortunately you're not gonna be able to watch it back, but I will, once everything's put together, you guys will be able to see the full product. There will be more of these. Unfortunately, this will just not be available for the public once I'm done streaming today. Sorry, unfortunately. It seems like a crazy plan, but I like it. Right?
During a program of ABC Evening News, Anchor Peter Jennings told viewers to look forward to next week for a special broadcast of national significance. Jennings would continue to remind viewers of the special broadcast over the next 7 nights, even referring to it at one point as the most unprecedented announcement in recent history.
But what date?
A week after its first mention, Jennings reminded viewers of the special broadcast one last time, asking them to pay attention later that night for an exclusive look at the greatest gift to the American people. Due to the anticipation built over the week, over 60 million Americans tuned into ABC, waiting for the evening news to end and for the special broadcast to begin. There were countless theories as to what would occur, from the announcement of alien life to the declaration of an all-out nuclear war. Speculation was brewing intensely. Once the evening news program ended, a black screen with a 10-second countdown commenced with the title Dean Democracy. Some viewers, so terrified of the threat of nuclear war, reportedly experienced nervous breakdowns and ran down the street.
I can understand. This is Cold War era. I would be very understanding of the people being extremely worried that this would be very, very bad for everybody. I would not be shocked in that time period where they thought this would be a nuclear war thing.
Declaring that Dean Democracy was the code name for an all-out nuclear holocaust. Yet once the countdown ended, all fears were soon replaced with tears of joy and an excitement not seen since the end of World War II.
James Dean!
What are we waiting for? Let's bring them back home.
Dean for president.
In the seconds following James Dean's presidential announcement, hundreds of thousands of neighborhoods erupted into celebration. Although other candidates had promised to end the Vietnam War, none had so accurately expressed the same anger that they had felt, which Dean had perfectly conveyed in a 15-second broadcast. Due to popular demand, the ABC Evening News was canceled the next night, replaced by a 30-minute loop of James Dean's presidential announcement. The broadcast was watched again by over 38 million Americans, and the parties continued for the rest of the week. Due to repeated assassination attempts on Robert Kennedy, the Democratic Party presidential debates were canceled for the 1968 election.
Alright, I need to go look up Nixon election. So, 1968. So I'm assuming this campaign is going in 1968. Let's go with that. Dean Democracy. I don't think I need this yet, but let's just go with 1968 since we don't know for sure when this exactly is going on. Yeah, it's 1968. We'll go with that. See if anybody disagrees. Probably not, but that's what I'll go with. 1968. James Dean. Announces presidential campaign.
Election season. However, this proved to be no issue for Dean, as polls indicated that he was in the lead for the entirety of 1967 and
runs against Nixon and Wallace.
1968, despite having had fewer public appearances and rallies than any
on ABC live television. Who did he say was the one that announced it? Who was the guy that they were talking about?
Night for an exclusive look at the greatest gift to the American people. Due to the anticipation this week for a special during a program of ABC Evening News, anchor Peter Jennings told
Peter Jennings. All right, let's do a series of events. 1, Peter Jennings announces
viewers to look forward to next week for a special
broadcast of national significance.
Broadcast of national significance. Jennings would continue to remind viewers of the special broadcast over the next 7 nights, even referring to it at one point as the
To Peter Jennings reminds viewers of broadcast and calls it the most unprecedented announcement in history. Seven days.
The most unprecedented announcement in recent history. A week after its first mention, Jennings reminded viewers of the special broadcast one last time, asking them to pay attention later that night for an exclusive look at the greatest gift to the
3 after week of promo. One last reminder from Jennings calls the special broadcast the greatest gift to the American people. Or
the American people. Due to the anticipation built over the week, over 60 million Americans tuned into ABC, waiting for the evening news to end and for the special broadcast to begin.
Americans wait for special broadcast after evening news. And get a Dean Democracy countdown.
As to what would of alien speculation will Dean to war do.
Campaign on special broadcast and
What are we waiting for? Let's bring them back home.
announces
In the seconds following James Dean's presidential
goal being ending the Vietnam War. Okay.
announcement, hundreds of thousands of neighborhoods erupted in a 15-second broadcast. Due to popular demand, the ABC Evening News was canceled the next night, replaced by a 30-minute loop of James Dean's presidential
ABC Evening News canceled in lieu of 30-minute loop of presidential announcement.
announcement. Debates, as polls indicated that he was in the lead for the entirety of 1967 and 1968.
Oh, so this is 1967. Okay. So 1967 then. Okay.
Having had fewer public appearances and rallies than any other candidate.
Excuse me.
The strength of his campaign relied on the powerful advertisements he directed that would air every Friday evening on ABC. The series of programs would be considered by many as another weekly TV series and went on to become the highest-rated TV show on television after
James Dean releases weekly.
The series of programs would be considered by many as another weekly TV series and went on to become the highest-rated sold for 37 directed that would air every month of his campaign relied on the powerful advertisements he directed.
Advertisement segments considered to be a weekly television show.
Directed that would air every Friday evening on ABC.
Yep, typing always
The series of
intensifies.
programs would be
1967, yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I figured, Brandon. Yeah, typing intensifies. I type very quickly and I type very loudly. I apologize, Matthew.
Considered by many as another weekly TV series, and went on to become the highest rated TV show on television.
Becoming the highest rated TV show at the time. Insert another line. Let's do 1968. Howl comes out, putting Dean at overwhelming lead over Nixon and Wallace.
Television after the conclusion of Star Trek in 1967. Although a presidential debate was eventually scheduled 2 weeks before the election, James Dean instead invited opponent Richard Nixon to a track to race cars on the same night.
That's really cool how they made that stuff, I'm not gonna lie. Because we don't know when in 1968 that comes out. Let's go with 1968 again. So that happened 2 years before the election, or 2 weeks before. So let's go back in time to 1968. This was November. So I'm going to assume October 22nd is when this happened. I'm going to assume. Dean invites Nixon.
James Dean instead invited opponent Richard Nixon to a track to race cars on the
racing track on day of election debate.
Same night. Although reluctant at first, Nixon eventually agreed and went to spend the entire day with Dean, reportedly even telling the actor, "To hell with it, I'm voting for you. You're already..."
Nixon telling Dean, "To hell with it, I'm voting for you."
And eventually agreed and went to spend the entire day with Dean, reportedly even telling the actor, "To hell with it, I'm voting for you. You're already a better president than I'll ever be."
That's not something that would ever come out of his mouth. You're already a better president than I will ever be.
This statement, although only a rumor, would spread like wildfire in tabloids and permanently curbed Nixon's chance for victory. On the morning of November 1st, 1968, 4 days before Election Day, anti-Dean groups hijacked...
I think I'm right. I think I was right there. Okay. I was right on that date. Heck yeah. Or something around that. I'm just gonna put October 1986, I guess. November 1st, 1968, right?
Radio Channel 68, 4 days before Election Day, anti-Dean groups hijacked radio channels and told...
Anti-Dean groups hijack radio channels.
Civilians they were fed up with James Dean and that television was ruining American youth. After the broadcast, the groups went on to cut hundreds of power lines in the southeast.
Channels to spread propaganda and cut.
The groups went on to cut hundreds of power lines in the southeast, effectively preventing
hundreds of power lines in the southeast.
Any of Dean's presidential ads from reaching any household below Tennessee. Dean quickly heard of the incident and, despite the risk of an assassination, flew down to the south and quickly went to work with local electricians to repair the broken power line.
I'm gonna assume same day. I really enjoy the pictures they have for this. Dean goes to Southeast USA personally to help repair power lines.
James Dean would be met with a supportive crowd, primarily younger voters who were eager to see a younger face back in the White House. Elderly white conservatives.
Have a good night, Mari. Thanks for dropping by to say hello.
Conservatives, often the parents of the younger supporters, remained in their houses and occasionally peered through their window blinds to catch a glimpse of the handsome candidate. Although it wasn't known to Dean at the time, hate groups in the South had perpetuated the idea that he was Satan in disguise and cited his good looks and his love for jazz as being clear signs of the devil.
That's funny.
James Dean is no man.
What? Anti-Dean Association. Wow. That is so funny. That is so funny.
Elderly white conservatives in the Southeast would be the only demographic unfazed by his campaign. Yet Dean continued to travel from state to state, repairing power lines for 4 days straight until the very morning of the election. On November 5th, 1968, James Dean received 75.
Let's go. Next thing, November 5th, 1968. James Dean wins presidential, election by
% of the popular vote, with 395 electoral votes of the popular vote. On November 5th, 1968, James Dean received 75% of
a landslide, 75% of popular vote, and
the popular vote, with 395 electoral votes.
395 electoral votes.
Nixon congratulated Dean in a phone call the following morning, but Dean
insert next morning, November 6th. Nixon calls Dean to congratulate him on his win.
Refused to acknowledge the win and instead asked to race cars again at the track.
But Dean just asks him to race cars again. Okay.
On January 20th, 1969, James Dean held his inaugural address at the official
Exactly, you can't help but be impressed by this. Like, how do they make these?
On January 20th, 1969.
Alright, 1969. February 20, 1969.
James Dean held his inaugural address at the official Capitol Raceway. Although President
holds inaugural speech at
James Dean held his inaugural address at the official Capitol Raceway.
The official Capitol Raceway.
Although presidents in the past had speeches that were typically around 20 minutes, Dean spoke for less than a minute.
And speaks for less than a minute.
I have a speech.
This is really dumb. Like, I really love how, like...
I had the flotsam that you people expect to hear. But that's not fair. No.
So it says, I have a speech, and it has the flotsam, that's a weird word, that you people expect to hear. But that's not fair. No, that's not fair at all.
That's not fair at all. I'm here for all of you. It's only fair that you speak for yourselves. My words shouldn't be louder than yours. So I brought many other guests to speak. They're just people like you and I.
Alright, what's the next part of that? I am here for all of you, and it's only fair that you speak for yourselves. My words shouldn't be louder than yours. So I've brought many other guests to speak. They're just people like you and I, in the same time that many other presidents have spoken by themselves.
That many other presidents...
America will speak. Huh. Cute little speech there. That's cute. That's a cute little speech.
have spoken by themselves. America will speak.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dean proceeded to introduce many groups to the microphone, including civil rights activists and Native American families. Martin Luther King Jr. would also come forward to speak in his first appearance since an attempt on his life 9 months prior. President Dean would conclude the inauguration with a brief bongo performance and went on to race Richard Nixon at the track. In subsequent presidential inaugurations,
note, MLK does not die. After assassination attempt. So there's another huge.
Those who disagreed with the elected president would instead celebrate Dean Democracy Day and protested by watching Dean's unique take on the address in place of the actual one.
Let me look up. Sorry, this is gonna get me in trouble. But okay, so April 14th, 1968. I'm gonna put that there. Dean Democracy. For 1968. MLK survives assassination attempt. Alright, back to this. April 1969. What happens then? I'm curious. April 20, 1969.
Televised address, President Dean planned to inform Americans of his first 90 days in office.
Dean does, what is it? What did they call it?
In a televised address, President Dean...
A televised address speaking about first 90 days in office plan.
Planned to inform Americans of his first 90 days in office. However, 6 seconds into the broadcast, the audio cut out and remained absent for the remainder of the speech. Although anti-Dean groups claimed responsibility and took pride in the sabotage, anti-Dean groups claimed and remained absent for the remainder of the broadcast. The audio cut out and first 90 days in office. However, 6 seconds into the...
6 seconds in.
Broadcast, the audio cut out and remained absent for the remainder of the speech. Although anti-Dean groups claimed responsibility and took pride in the sabotage, many civilians claimed that it benefited the president. The silent broadcast highlighted President Dean's sincere facial expressions and lively disposition, as opposed
Apparently, Americans liked the silence.
to the stern and stiff personalities of prior administrations. Viewers were proud to see a man in his prime at the most important position in the country. Ironically, President Dean's popularity grew after the technical difficulty, and film director Stanley Kubrick went on to call the broadcast the greatest silent film ever made.
Was called by... That's funny. Stanley Q... Okay, I just want to know how to pronounce it. Called the greatest silent film. What did he call it? The greatest silent film of all time?
And film director Stanley Kubrick went on to call the broadcast the greatest silent film ever made.
Ever. That is so funny. Silent film ever made by Stanley Kubrick. Thank you for the donation, my flock. I really appreciate it. I didn't have my Streamlabs up. Let me go grab that really quick. It made me grab that. Oh, just some heart. Thank you very much for the $1.49 donation. I very much appreciate it, my flock. Alright, let's finish this out, yeah? I'm probably going to Kubrick. Finish up. Yep, Kubrick. Finish this particular video, and then we'll finish for the time being. Yep, that's the end of it. Alright, everybody. We'll pick this back up at a later time, and the next one is Air Force One Angel. That one's gonna get interesting, but for the time being, I'm gonna call it. Get back to my normal day-to-day life stuff. But I will be back this Sunday, like I said, to do the 50th episode of Halls of Horror. I'm very excited. I didn't even think I would get to 10 episodes of the Halls of Horror podcast. But I will do that on Sunday. I also have, once again, my appearance on My Flock's channel. I think they will bring this up at some point on the... their little thing will come up, and I'll do that prior to it. So I will see you guys at a later time. Have a wonderful evening and sweet nightmares.